This is High Tales of History. It's a history podcast where two sisters get high and they surprise each other with a story from history. I'm Laurel, the older sister.
Means I'm Katie, the younger sister, also known as compressed evil.
Compressed.
So Blake told me the other day.
He said compressed.
Yeah. That's the truth. I can see it. Little bit too much of the devil's lettuce there, my friend.
Yeah. That jazz cabbage. That jazz cabbage Eddie was a bit.
Jazz hands.
Yeah. Go ahead, I apologize.
But yeah, apparently anyone under like 5'2" is considered like compressed evil. I was like, what the hell? Compressed anger and evil, I think, was the terminology Blake used. I was like, yeah, all right. Whatever.
Oh, I think you're just the right amount. Not compressed, not elongated. Just right. And not even evil, just orneriness.
Okay. General menace behavior, though.
Menace behavior, yeah.
Yeah, can't help it.
So, look at me. I have come to the smoke circle ready to go.
Oh,
Katie,
she's ready.
We're recording a little bit later than planned, so it had already fully hit me by the time.
Sorry, everybody.
No, it's okay. So yeah, this is Katie's fault. How about we do that? We'll blame it on Katie.
There you go.
Oh no, she can barely get through the intro. Yeah, because look. Anyway, Katie, how are you doing? How has your time been since we saw you last?
Like hanging by a thread, but hanging on. Aren't we all?
Like a cat poster. We're just hanging in there. Yep. Living on a prayer. Just hopes and dreams.
Yep.
May they wing us through the night. I know. This is probably why I'm like this right now.
Ready for some warmer weather, though. I'll tell you what.
We're going currently through the Midwest false spring.
The spring of deception. We've already been through the fool's spring, so now we're to the spring of deception. There is yet but another, the promise of spring, and it will yet again be wrenched away from under us in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's where it could be like 65 one day and sunny and then plummet, down to 30 degrees and then snow
20.
And then freezing rain.
Yeah. And then there's going to be hail.
Sunny again the next day.
Yeah.
But it's thunderstorm.
There's going to be hail.
Yeah. Hail. Massive hail. So that's, the spring of deception. This is part of the fun of the Midwest. So, hey, wherever you are in the world listening, welcome into the smoke circle. What do we do after this? What comes next? I asked Katie how she's doing. What are you gardening tonight?
What am I gardening tonight? Water with a good dose of magnesium. Because fun fact, everybody, if you do partake in cannabis, it lowers the magnesium levels in your body. So you must replenish your stores responsibly.
Responsible. Well, and also watch out for the magnesium that you get, because there's some magnesium that will make you shit yourself.
Yeah.
There's the other magnesium that's good for your muscles.
Correct.
In my previous life as a trainer, I knew that off the top of my head, but now I can't remember which one.
So I am responsibly taking in water this time. And because I got to be focused to talk about this topic, and I have a lot of passion. So that leads me to say, though, what are you partaking in? A little bit of everything.
A little bit of edibles in my life. Yeah, so I've got some wine, which is probably not a good idea.
You're an adult.
I'm an adult.
Nobody can tell you how to live your life. I'm just going to tell you that.
Yeah, I get to just stay in tonight.
That's responsible.
I'm doing it so responsibly. And so whatever it might be for you, it could be a cup of chamomile tea.
Sure could.
Yeah.
A little bit of honey.
Or also some water,
Yeah.
Or
you're just bonging a blitz, dude.
Bonging a blitz. I was like, what comes next?
Or somebody's just cracking hard off. I highly doubt you're going to be willing to listen to a history podcast at that point. But if that's how you relax and intake history, don't let me tell you what to do. You go your own way, Fleetwood Mac. You good?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready, guys? Katie, you've mentioned that you are very passionate about this topic tonight, and I would like to hear what you've got for the smoke circle. Please.
Yeah. I'm interested. Like, do you have any guesses based upon the hints I gave you? I'm just curious. This might be
No.
annoying to listeners that I do that, and if it is, I'll try to stop. But I think it's like
We know
you
because we
tend to
lived.
be really good because I don't drop obvious hints. I think I drop decently subtle hints. Um, I don't know. I think it's interesting that you oftentimes can figure it out.
We do legitimately surprise each other with the story, but she did give me like a little bit of a clue before we started recording. And you said it's a series and a movie franchise.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you mentioned it in. I said it in the cursed movies
I
episode.
thought you have at least mentioned this particular series once, but I think it was this is probably going to give it away. I think it was in conjunction with the series that it has often associated with.
I don't know. I have no guesses. The thing is, you're going to say it, and I'll go, oh, of course, but
Probably. I actually don't know how much you know about this topic. So, enough without
let's
further ado
let's
or
do it.
delay. Let's get right into it. Rocky theme music is playing. Rocky is marching out to the ring.
Okay.
Lights flash, fans are yelling. Boxing gloves bounce off of each other with every step as Rocky approaches the ring. The camera pans over to Rocky's opponent. Instead of the Russian adversary we've all come to expect, there stands an alien?
What? Go
Doesn't
on.
sound like a movie you've seen before? This was the original script idea for Rocky 5. But while this idea
Fuck
didn't
off.
get you, it fucking is. It fucking is. But hang in there. Isn't that bullshit? I was like, this is just lazy. But hang in there. It goes somewhere. So this is the original script idea for Rocky 5. But while this idea didn't get used, it did become something else.
Oh,
What do you think it is?
aliens? No.
Oh, you're so close. You are so fucking close.
The Aliens franchise? Okay, no.
You're close.
Predator?
Yeah. Yes. The original idea for 1987's Predator stemmed from a Hollywood joke following Rocky IV in 1985 that since Rocky Balboa had defeated all earthly opponents, he would have to fight an alien next, which is ridiculous. But, I mean, look what they've...
That's my Predator impression.
Oh my god, I love it. He defeated all earthly opponents. He has to fight an alien next.
I hate this.
So did the studio, because clearly it got thrown out. So screenwriters Jim and John Thomas developed this premise into a script initially titled Hunter, or The Hunter, focusing on the alien in the jungle concept, into a high-budget sci-fi action film drawing inspiration from aliens and the Rambo-style Cold War-era military operations.
I'm not gonna lie. I love Predator.
Do you really? That's fucking awesome.
I have not seen so many of them. I think I've only seen maybe I've only seen the first one a bunch
I'm addicted.
of times.
I've watched all of them multiple times.
So
I've seen like all Predator movies like 5 times.
I saw Alien versus Predator also.
First of all, you keep some respect on the name. I love AVP.
No, just that. Yeah, that's the only other time I watched a Predator movie.
I will not hear the hate towards the AVP franchise. Okay. I think it's nonsense. And yeah.
But that's how I was able to get Predator. You said aliens. I was like, alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Predator.
That was
What's
the word
the next
association.
Logical step. Sure.
You get Predator. Yeah.
I fucking love Predator. And the fact that you just jumped on my bandwagon. Oh, you're all in for a ride.
I can't wait. What's that guy say? I can't remember. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the character's name, but he's like talking about chewing tobacco. He's like, I guess you're a goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus or something like that.
Basically.
Like, sir, what?
Yeah.
Like,
so what? There's a lot of interesting things in Predator. We're going to break it down. There's a lot that I personally feel about Predator. And things that I'm starting to see, I'm not sure were purposeful in the writing of this movie, but it's absolutely how I took it from a young age. I saw Predator way too young. Let's first start there. I watched Rambo First
Oh, yeah.
Blood at 7. And I think I watched Predator soon after that. Predator was light compared to Rambo. Rambo was way worse, my opinion. It never scared me, though, I remember. Like, I was always more scared of Alien than I was of Predator. So by the time that
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw, like, AVP, I was like, I always knew Predator was sort of the good guy. Like, I don't know, I just didn't hate Predator. I also watched Jurassic Park at, like, 6, which I'm pretty sure I remember Mom was mad about it because she didn't is that an R-rated movie? No,
No, it's
it's PG-13.
PG-13, but
Well, I
it's
just remember she didn't like the
scary for its time.
violence, and, like,
Yeah.
she would try to fast forward through it. And I just remember, like, at one point, she's like, "Are you doing okay?" I was like, "Yes, more dinosaurs." Like, I was like, "I
I'm
don't give a
very
fuck
okay.
about the people." Oh, I was fine. I wanted more dinosaurs, though. That wasn't enough. I want more. Okay, so
Sorry. So is this the history of Predator or some
it's
sort
the
of story
history
with
of
Predator?
Predator.
Okay.
Predator, and we're gonna go into a little bit of, like, because it's our fucking podcast and I can do this, what Predator meant to me, why I like it, and why I'm frankly sick to death of people calling Predator woke. You miss the fucking point entirely if you think Predator is woke. So let's get into it, everybody.
Wait, okay.
A lot of people complain that a lot of the new movies are like that.
Okay. Like
Yeah.
what is like Predator like? Down with the patriarchy.
Yeah. I mean, okay, we're going to get into that, but
Okay.
Predator, the lore of the Yautja, if you don't know they're called Yautja, are you even a Predator fan? Um, Laurel's like, I didn't know
I
that.
had no
I
idea.
read the comics. I have the actual, like, books that were written by authors about, like, I
Oh,
fucking love Predator to an extreme degree that I will fight anyone. I won't
okay.
die on this hill. I'll live to fight on this hill. So there you fucking go.
I feel like I've brought a knife to a gunfight. Because I was like,
Dude.
I love Predator. I've only seen the first movie. I love Predator. Like the movie's great. And Katie's like, you don't even know. You are a fake fan with your
I'm not gatekeeping
with your
Predator.
one
You can
time
love the
Predator.
first Predator and
Like,
stay there. That's fine. Predator 2 was, frankly, in my opinion, a rough movie. You barely see Predator. It's just like a weird, like, mob movie, and it's like, whoa, Predator! And it's like, you'd literally only see them maybe in that whole movie, you see them, like, not even 20 minutes. My favorite Predator, though, if we're talking about it, definitely Wolf. Because the Predators have names. Do you know your Predator characters? Listen, I go hard.
I've just got my hands in my lap, like, oh, we are on a ride, folks.
Yeah, we are on a ride. But it's a good ride. You're gonna like it.
Pull
So,
down that lap belt.
but fun fact, like you were saying, like, down with the patriarchy. Predator, the lore of the Yautja, the race of alien that is the Predator, is a matriarchal society. Okay, so what is Predator? Because there might be people here who don't even know what the hell that is. So, the Predator species is a fictional, sadly, extraterrestrial species characterized by their ritualistic trophy hunting of other life forms. Initially conceived by the screenwriters, as we discussed, Jim and John Thomas, it was designed by the special effects artist Stan Winston. We'll get into all this. You might not remember all these names. Do your best to let them flow over your brain so that when I bring them up later, you'll be like, oh, okay, special effects guy. Okay, screenwriter guy. You got this. There's 2 screenwriters, by the way. Trick question. The species first made its appearance, of course, as the villain in the 1987 science fiction action film Predator, directed by John McTiernan, I believe is how you say his name. Should have looked that up beforehand. Depicted as a large, sapient, sentient humanoid species, equipped with advanced technologies such as active camouflage. We love that one. Directed energy weapons, right? It kind of like hones in on people, and yep, okay, you got it.
Those blow a hole in things.
Oh yeah, and interstellar spacecraft. And they have become horror monsters of the 20th century, blending the tropes of the slasher films and villains, with the elements of an alien invasion and a military survival narrative, right? Kind of lumps a lot of movies in together.
Smash them all together. That's a great mix.
That was Predator. So, the first Predator film, 1987, here is brief synopsis of what's going on. The premise of Predator is Dutch, the soldier of fortune, sometimes known as Arnold Schwarzenegger, is hired by the U.S. government to secretly rescue a group of politicians trapped in Guatemala. But when Dutch and his team, which includes weapon expert Blaine and the CIA agent George, they land in Central America, something is wrong, and after finding a string of dead bodies, the crew discovers they are being hunted by a brutal creature with superhuman strength and the ability to disappear into its surroundings.
Oh, no.
Straight up, though, I'm so glad you love the original Predator. Like, that movie slaps.
I do. It's a lot of fun.
As the Thomas brothers were first-time screenwriters, they have little to no credibility in Hollywood. Nobody knows who the fuck these guys are. And it's a massive struggle for them to try to attract attention to this film, and they eventually resorted to slipping the script under the door of a 20th Century Fox producer, Michael Levy.
Wow. Shooting the shot right there,
Just
you know?
Try my alien film.
Mm-hmm.
So, fun fact, Michael Levy would actually go on to serve as the executive producer on Predator 2. Levy then brought the screenplay to producer Joel Silver, who, based on his expertise with the movie Commando...
I was going to say a second ago, I was like, yeah, it's fun. And I was like, Commando is just as fun, if not even more so.
Yeah,
Commando's a fun one. Okay,
yeah.
So thanks. Sorry.
And a lot
Able
of
to
these
get
are
my Commando
attached.
reference.
Yeah, no, you're going to see a lot of, like, people who worked or helped on this, so...
The opening scene alone with a baby Alyssa Milano and Arnold Schwarzenegger as her dad, that a whole opening sequence alone is the price of admission. It's amazing. Have you ever seen it before?
No, I haven't, no.
Oh, girl. If I can find just the opening sequence on YouTube, I'm sure I can because you can find so many things. If I can find it, I will put it in the show notes.
Please do, so that everybody has access to it.
Everyone needs to see it. It's so good. Okay.
I'll make sure.
And
I'll do my homework.
Okay.
So, Joel Silver, he had experience on Commando. He helped with Commando. He decided to turn the science fiction pulp storyline into a big budget film. He enlisted his former boss, Lawrence Gordon, as the co-producer, and John McTiernan was hired as the director for his first studio film. Nobody knew who this guy was. Oh yeah, I know. Predator was like a hit and hope. Hang in there. This movie was a shit show.
Wow.
Yeah.
A hit and hope. I love
Yeah, seriously. At one point, the New Zealand director Jeff Murphy was also considered to direct it. Silver and Gordon were actually the first to approach Arnold Schwarzenegger with the lead role. And this is what Schwarzenegger said after reading this. The first thing I look for in a script is a good idea. The majority of scripts are rip-offs of other movies. People think that they can become successful overnight. They sat down one weekend and wrote a script because they read that Stallone did that with Rocky. Predator is Predator 2, but this is just Predator, was one of the scripts I read, and it bothered me in one way. It was just me and the alien. So we redid the whole thing that it was a team of commandos, and then I liked the idea. I thought it would make a much more effective movie and much more believable. I liked the idea of starting out with an action-adventure, but then coming in with some horror and science fiction.
Yeah, and it also makes you care about the movie more because you have different personalities of all these commandos, and there's some of them you root for, or you know, or you really want to get it, or whatever.
Or you're really happy when the spine gets ripped out of their fleshless heap. Yes.
Yeah. It makes you go on the whole like cinematic journey. You know, sometimes like who are you rooting for here? You know,
you can be a lot more effective with a team, especially when I break down why I love Predator and actually how I perceived Predator as a young teenage girl. We'll get into that. I'm interested to see what you think about that, but I found an article that I pulled a lot of information from, and I really loved everything that this guy was talking about with Predator, and it is actually how I emotionally processed Predator from a young age, from the time that I saw AVP especially and stuff like that. And also, if you get into like the comics and the books and the Yautja lore, I think it honestly rings a lot truer with the way Predator is supposed to be written. And I think it makes it super badass. I think it's really cool. We'll get into it. I don't want to I'm putting the buggy before the horse right now.
Okay.
Gotta calm down. So, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he previously starred in Commando, on which Silver had also served as a producer. To play the band of elite soldiers, both Silver and Gordon, with the co-producer John Davis, searched for other larger-than-life men of action.
Yeah, so many gratuitous, like, bicep shots, too.
Dude, so many.
Yeah.
Like, they knew what they were doing.
So Jean-Claude Van Damme, right?
Jean-Claude Van Damme was originally cast as the Predator, with the intent that the physical action star would use his martial arts skills, to make the Predator an agile ninja-like hunter. However, the 5'9" Van Damme, smaller when compared to Schwarzenegger. Weathers and Ventura, actually. He was smaller than all the actors. So all the actors are over 6 feet tall and known for their bodybuilding regimes.
Everyone's a huge fucker in this movie.
Everyone's fucking massive.
Yeah.
Giant actors. Everybody in this movie is a giant. So, Predator, Jean-Claude Van Damme, not gonna work. It became apparent that a more physically imposing man was needed to make the creature appear more threatening. You better believe it. Predator is a giant. They're supposed to be. So, additionally, it was also reported that Van Damme constantly complained about the monster suit being too hot and causing him to pass out. He allegedly also repeated voicing reservations about only appearing on the camera in the suit. Additionally, the original design for the Predator wasn't great. I'm on a side with them on this one. It was too cumbersome. It was difficult to manage in the jungle. And even for a more imposing actor, did not provoke fear. I think they said they had him on stilts. I'm like, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. So, Van Damme was removed and replaced with the 7'2" Kevin Peter Hall, who just finished work as the Sasquatch in Harry and the Hendersons. He's also Predator.
Oh, shit.
Yeah! Isn't that adorable?
I love that.
I know.
Oh, he's huge. Yeah.
Massive. But it's Predator, dude. Predator has to be the biggest motherfucker out there.
It's weird because I've always thought Predator was like about the same size as Arnold.
He's taller if they're standing next to each other.
Yeah.
And like if you watch a lot of Predator stuff, like Predator's like quite big and humans are like here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're supposed to be, if you're going by lore, they're supposed to be between 6 and 8 feet. Unless you're talking about the race of super predator, which I'm not willing to go into with you right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to say that I don't need that off ramp at the moment. But
you don't need that off ramp.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I had like a different visual of, all right, I'll watch Predator again. I'll have to like compare the heights.
Say less.
All right. Twist my arm.
It's on Disney Plus. The entire Predator series is on Disney Plus.
Oh, is it?
Fuck yeah, it is.
I think Alien is too.
Yeah, it is.
You can just have a whole extravaganza.
Don't tempt me with a good time. You got a free weekend? I have excerpts from an interview that John McTiernan, the original director, did with a Sven Mikulik. It's called Cinephilia and Beyond. It's a film thing that they'll sit down with directors. I've included excerpts from that interview about the history and the making of the film, because I think that stuff is super fun and super important. So a couple things before we get to those. Shane Black, who had just written his script for Lethal Weapon, was hired as a supporting actor with the producer's intention of asking him for on-set rewrites if needed. According to the co-producer John Davis, Shane Black coldly turned down the offer and explained he's just an actor for the film. So he became the first crew member to get killed. He got killed 7 minutes into the movie. Ironically,
just kill me off quick. I don't
right?
This.
He actually ended up writing, he just did one of the 2018 Predator movie, which includes the super Predator I was talking about. So the filming took place in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and everything went according to plan except for a short break made so that Schwarzenegger could fly off to get married to Maria Shriver. And the job, that was it. Came back. The job was physically demanding, apart from the very low temperatures in the Mexican jungle, like at night. There's rough terrain, and there were a lot of health issues caused by improperly filtered drinking water.
Oh, no.
Yeah. In addition to that, the main actors got up every day an hour and a half early so they could exercise. They developed a sort of competition, and this is the most, like...
broiest thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They developed a sort of competition and were very careful to appear as buffed up as possible. Kevin Peter Hall, on the other hand, had a lot of difficulty with acting in the Predator suit, as he couldn't see properly and the outfit was heavy and off balance. It wasn't a movie, he was quoted later saying. It was a survival story for all of us. It was a tough movie. Like, nobody remembers it super fondly. And I
Oh
was like,
no.
I
Okay.
know. Thanks to the fame of Back to the Future, the celebrated composer Alan Silvestri, I think is how you say his name, he composed the score for Predator with horn blasts and his trademark timpani rolls. Is that how you say that?
Timpani?
Timpani? Yeah, I knew that. I'm making an Italian dessert over here, and he's making music, so we're on 2 separate pages. I'm on chapter 3. This dude's in 15.
Yeah, sorry. No, you're good. Timpani. It's like usually like the four drums.
Oh, those
ones.
ones. Oh, I like those.
I like that you could tell based on my impression, my very bad impression of a timpani.
No, I knew what was up.
But you knew that I was doing like 2 hands. Yeah. You knew. Thank you.
Oh, I live for it. I was in. I'm all in. Okay. But yeah, good stuff. I like that. Timpani rolls, not to be confused with timpani, possibly an Italian dessert. So Silvestri would go on to also provide the score for with Danny Glover as the headliner in the 1990 sequel, so Predator 2. He did both.
Okay, yeah. He's a very famous composer. He's done so many soundtracks, like so many. Yeah.
But I mean, Predator is 1987 and Back to the Future is 1985. So, still relatively, I won't say unknown because he was known after Back to the Future.
But sure, I suppose at this point, yeah.
Yeah, but this is still a part of his like journey there, right? Just like this Mr. McTiernan here. Also unknown up into this. And even in Arnold's career, it was early. This is very early in Arnold's career. That's actually why I didn't include it in here because I tried to stay more history focused. But there is an actor, I can't remember which one it is, in there that they purposely cast alongside Arnold because they wanted him to learn to become a better actor. So even when he wasn't acting that day, he was on the set watching this guy do what he does. I think it's the like Colonel guy. The like
Oh yeah, Carl Weathers.
Yes, that's it. It's Carl Weathers. Yeah, and they said that they needed a veteran actor who could give him direction even though he has the talent. So, Predator, a big deal in everybody's career at this point, especially what it became, right? So, among the crew was also included the Australian cinematographer Donald McAlpine. He did Patriot Games and that really questionable Romeo and Juliet with
the Baz Luhrmann one?
No, Romeo plus Juliet, the Leonardo
yeah.
Is that the same one?
Yeah, so it's by Baz Luhrmann. Okay.
I remember they fucking like showed us that in school and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
You know what? I didn't like it when it came out. I wanted to like it so bad because it was so cool to like that. And I was just like, I'm not feeling it.
I never
watched it again as a grown up and I'm like, it's fun again. But yeah. I mean,
okay.
When I saw it when it came out as a kid, I was like, yeah, because Leo, Claire Danes. And I was like, I don't really like this.
Katie,
but I love
even Leo couldn't save this.
Yeah.
Katie's such a dick. That's who I am.
Speaking of Romeo and Juliet, sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead.
Speaking of Romeo and Juliet, when we were recording the last episode, I went to the movie theater to see the Royal Ballet.
Oh, yeah.
Do Romeo and Juliet in like a live cast thing.
Oh,
how was that? Chalamet. I went
really?
to the ballet. He's not in it. He's just.
Oh, okay. I was like, he does ballet?
That's the internet beef. He's like, people don't care about ballet or opera. And everyone's mad because everyone's like, people do care about ballet and opera.
Care. I fucking love the Nutcracker. That is a straight banger, first of all. If you want to fight me, who the fuck is this Chalamet? Listen, I'm about to tell you something right now. What an uneducated opinion to have. Why do people even care what you Hollywood fools have to say? Anyway,
so Predator.
So they hired this Australian cinematographer, Donald McAlpine. I can do this.
Oh, that's a cool name.
And he was hired by McTiernan, and he was like, Like, I'm talking Kim Possible, you gotta get to Mexico, and he's like, I'm on the next plane. So it was like a
Oh,
get out
hell
here
yeah.
now. And I guess there was something that happened with the whole crew where they actually had to hire a whole bunch of, like, I don't know what happened. They had hired locals to do something, and then somehow something had happened where it was supposed to be ceramic heaters instead of lights because they couldn't handle some sort of temperature change, and they started exploding all around the set,
Oh, no.
and it didn't get changed, yeah, like it needed to, so they had to hire a whole crew from the US and fly them down, like, in 2 days. Like, it was, like, all last minute. This movie was such a shit show, I'm shocked it even got done. So as well as the last-minute hire of the cinematographer, McTiernan flew the military advisor Gary Goldman, not Gary Oldman, Gary Goldman. Different Gary.
Yeah.
I know, I got excited too. It's not the same guy. He was brought in to train the actors. As McTiernan explained, it is honestly, they look like a bunch of ballerinas. Not making my Timothée Chalamet argument sound great right now. But the director's inclination to authenticity is displayed in both Goldman's employment and the fact that several of the actors were chosen specifically of their Vietnam War experience. So that was important,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
They
Okay.
wanted this to look as real as possible. I believe the ballerina remark, though misguided, is having to do with it looks too choreographed, which is the term we're going to
Right.
use because we're
Yeah.
not going to shit on ballet because that's
No.
fucking ridiculous.
No.
So they wanted it to look super real. They hired a lot of these guys for their Vietnam War experience, right? It all paid off in the end. The expert extraterrestrial killer was confronted by a bunch of guys we honestly believe are ex-soldiers. They act like it. They look like it. They probably smell like it.
Yeah.
But
show them.
But they were the best.
America.
Fuck yeah. But they were the best that the American Army had to offer.
They were turned into goddamn sexual Tyrannosauruses.
Damn sexual Tyrannosaurus.
Rex. That's whatever it is. Oh, goodness.
Director, Mr. McTiernan. When did you first board the project? Fox had developed it, right? Those two screenwriters finally fucking slipped shit under the door, got help, and then they all started rewriting it together. So Fox had developed it, and they were ready to make it when it got to me. So he was brought on later in development, which I think is actually pretty typical. Well, it depends on the director. So what was appealing about that project to you? Obviously, it was just fun. It was an innocent monster movie. It was good popcorn eating, and most of those action films are filled with all sorts of hateful things, and this one wasn't. It was just fun. In particular, the idea that became fun to me was when they said they wanted to do it with Arnold. That made the entire thing much more interesting. It's fair. One of his most iconic lines, literally ever, came from that movie.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. God, that... Who doesn't yell that in a moment of, like... You know what I mean? Like, it's almost the only acceptable term for retreat that exists. Get to the chopper. Sounds a lot better than retreat.
That's what I say when I am running out of battery on my phone. Get to
Do
the
you really?
cha-cha. Yeah, it's my funny little joke. I can't even take credit for it. It was some stupid meme from way back when that got lodged in my brain. And I say it to myself and I laugh.
Well, I'm also now laughing.
Okay. Do it for yourself.
So was Arnold a part of this project before you became involved? We went to meet him. We went down to South Carolina where he was making a film, and we met him there to talk about it. So he was a part of that team. You shot the movie in Mexico. What was that experience like? Well, it was 2 parts. I was a very young director at the time, so I didn't have a lot of credibility. The cameraman and I wanted to do it on the Caribbean side of Mexico, where there's jungle. And there was somebody in the studio who wanted to do it in Puerto Vallarta because it has big hotels. I think he owned a condo there, and I hadn't done any homework on the Pacific side of Mexico. The trees are deciduous. They drop their leaves. So we prepared the movie when it all looked green, and we got there to shoot, and the leaves were turning orange and falling off. So after we'd shot 2/3 of the movie or so, and by then the studio had been seeing footage and decided they trusted me a little bit, we then got to move the company over to the Caribbean side of Mexico near Palenque. Palenque is kind of by pyramids, is what we saw. So I'm assuming closer to the Yucatan. All of the jungle, all of that, it's in the jungle, and the movie was then shot there. So they should have listened to him in the first place. Imagine that. Not some studio executive. I remember seeing documentary footage of you guys having to glue leaves back onto trees.
Oh,
McTiernan
no, they
states,
did?
it was pretty ridiculous. Yeah, because they were falling off.
Quick, get this leaf back on.
Right? You famously ordered the redesign of the monster during shooting, but is it true that Jean-Claude Van Damme was the original version of the suit? Yes, we never shot anything with him in it. It was a complete screw up with his agent, trying to hustle him into a job and didn't know what the movie really was. It was silly. It was really silly. So there you go, from McTiernan's mouth.
Okay, all right.
Has the legacy of the film surprised you? I don't know. It was a good, fun movie, and I'm glad people still like it. You didn't know that you were making a classic? No, one doesn't set out to do that. In the breadth of your career, where do you place this movie? It was just a fun thing to do. I enjoyed it, but again, I'm not a historian of my own career. I don't find
What?
it real useful to think about stuff like that. That's more for other people to do. As I said, the whole idea of what it was supposed to be fun, and it seemed innocent. I still get meetings for action movies, and most of them are mean. They have mean hearts and are filled with cruelty in one sort or another. It just misses the point of why people go to the movies. People go to the movies to have a good time. Most people forget and or lose track of it. Why those people spent their $10 to go see those movies in the first place. I really like, yeah,
Oh.
he's super cool.
I was gonna say he's certainly humble. Like, it made me start laughing at some point. I was like,
I
man, he was
know,
like
he's just
really
like,
trying to
it's a
like
thing.
not take
I'm
any
like,
credit for
it's
this, you know?
Predator, dude. It's
Yeah.
Predator. It's like only like
He's
the
like,
birth
no.
of a generation, but whatever.
Wow. I was gonna say he's certainly humble, but like, man, that last bit especially, that was really
Yeah.
all right. That's
So,
cool.
yeah, he, well, you'll see. I won't answer
Hmm.
for you. I'll just keep reading.
All right.
And the sequence where they're shooting into the forest is your commentary on guns, correct? Well, it was a sort of commentary. There were some studio types who were basically into gun pornography. They wanted to sell gun pornography. They said I wasn't doing enough close ups of guns and stuff, so I said, why don't I just shoot a whole scene? But I also made it one that had something to do with the story because all of these guys have giant guns, and the whole point is that they're helpless in the face of this monster. The whole point of the
Mhm.
story. They're these enormously heavily armed guys. They're not prepared for this. The whole point is we hit nothing. But it also got rid of the gun pornographers because I have them 5 minutes of nothing but guns. So they were quiet after that.
That's such a ridiculous scene. That they're shooting everything, you know,
Yeah.
into the jungle. And it's
Yep.
just like do, 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 do. The shells are raining, you know, it's just
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm interested that after we break all this down and talk about this, I'm interested to hear what you think of Predator after all these filters and lenses have gone over it.
Okay. All
No.
right.
Well, being someone who is a fan of your films, it's obvious that the studio made you stick in the movie, but you had ways of getting back at them. Didn't you shoot anamorphic, which is a certain lens, so that you stretched out the Fox logo at the beginning? In quotes, it says laughs. Yeah, that was funny. They wouldn't let us shoot anamorphic at the time because of the early days on computer stuff, and they didn't think they could handle it. Now they can do it, but at the time they were just hoping they could figure out how to do it, so they were afraid to let us work with anamorphic. So he's a sassy fellow. You think if you made this movie today, you would approach it any differently? No, I don't think so. You have to make the movie that the 14-year-old boy wants to see.
Okay. Yeah, I could agree with that. I think there's a lot of other commentary in there too,
Oh
regardless,
yeah.
you know.
Oh, we're getting into it. Whew, so glad you said that. What a segue this is going to be.
Woo.
Get to the mid-roll. That's a really bad impression. I'm sorry. Here, let's put some mud on us so the Yautja doesn't use its heat-seeking technology to find us while we take a little break here. Welcome to episode 116. We hope that you've been enjoying yourselves so far. Having a little departure from our usual sort of episodes, so we hope that you're having a great time with it, a little pop culture fun. Katie's about to get into the social commentary and a bit of a psychology and sociology next for the second part. If you're liking what you're hearing, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, all those wonderful things. We've just recently got to 420 subscribers on Spotify, So, heyo, 420. I thought that was a nice little moment. And we also, at the same time, cleared a total 20,000 listens mark. We have a little show here, and we love your support. We love that you subscribe, that you listen in, that you spend the time with us. You could be doing any other thing. And then there's hundreds of podcasts out there, and there's hundreds of history podcasts out there. So we appreciate that you choose us. I know I sound like an airline right now, but it's true. And we appreciate you being here so much. If you want to hang out with us on the other days that we're not here with you for an episode, you can follow us on social media at High Tales of History on Instagram and High Tales of History Pod on TikTok. If you really, really like what we're doing, consider joining the Best Buds Club. That's our Patreon. And for like the price of a fancy coffee a month, you can have access to tons of extra content. We've got bonus episodes. We call them our half-baked episodes. We have historical movie nights on the couch. We even have some cooking videos that talk about food's connection to history. So when you got the munchies, you can have some history and munchies at the same time. All of our social media and our Patreon are going to be linked in the show notes below. All right, now we're going to get into some social commentary on Predator. So with that, let's puff pass it on to part 2.
So we're leaving the historical part of Predator. You all heard what you needed to hear. Oh, fun fact. The special effects guy who designed Predator was on the plane coming back from Aliens with, oh my God, what is that producer's name? Steven Spielberg? No. Yes.
Ridley Scott? No.
It wasn't Ridley Scott.
Okay.
But it was a guy who worked on Alien, and I knew his name. Cameron.
Oh.
James Cameron.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it was James.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was him. And it was somebody who worked on Aliens. Why can't I remember this? And he was designing Predator, and whoever that was, it's either James Cameron or Steven Spielberg or something like that, leaned over and went, do you know, I've always wanted to see something with mandibles, and left it at that, but I think it's funny you have a hand in both.
Uh-huh.
I just think that's cool, and it almost kind of illustrates for me how interconnected those two series are. They really are.
I love Predator's scary face.
Oh, me too. Fantastic. I love Predator.
Oh my gosh, all that. Mandibles, yeah.
We love an evil vagina.
That's my big joke about Predator's face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I mean, come on. Like, we're all on the same page, right? Like, it doesn't mean I don't think Predator's not, like, manly and terrifying. So there is more to Predator than meets the eye, and honestly, it became my favorite from a very young age, and I took a lot of symbolism out of Predator that I'm not sure was purposely put there or not. I have yet to decide, but I really want to hear what you have to say on this.
Okay.
I've read the comics and the books associated with this series. I fucking love this series. I know the names of Yautjas. I know the bloodlines of Yautjas. I am obsessed to a point that's probably, yes?
Who's the Yautja that came down for Predator, the first Predator movie?
It's just called Jungle Hunter. That's his only name.
That's his only
Jungle
name?
Hunter.
Oh.
Yeah, he dies unblooded.
Oh, what about the one that gets to go to the Big Apple and be a girl in the Big Apple? Visit Times Square.
There isn't one in New York.
Oh yeah, sorry, I keep saying New York, L.A.
You mean in L.A.?
Just wants to be a model,
shit.
yeah.
There's two of them actually. And I'm pretty
keep saying
sure
New York. It's like Home Alone 2.
I know, and I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. There is no Predator in New York. Shit, what was his name? You get to meet all of the at the end of Predator 2, Danny Glover at the very end gets the highest honor of the Yautja because he has killed a Yautja. So the ancestors come down and give him back a gun, which you only know it's an old like flint pistol, like think pirate style.
Okay.
That they was given to them by, you would only know this if you read the comics. What is it? It was given to them. I think it's one of the pirates. Actually, what a segue from last episode. I thought it was. I'll have to look. I should have redone my Yautja lore before I got on here. I'm so sorry. But they give him back like a trinket that they got in like the 1800s from people the last time a Yautja was killed by mankind, because that is honor in the Yautja society, right? You're ranked by unblooded, blooded, or like elder, right? So unblooded are sent to Earth, as you see. All right, everybody, Yautja lore time. Are sent to Earth or other places. If you read the books and the comics, they go to all kinds of planets. And if you see, actually, it's really well outlined in the new Predator Badlands, which rocks, by the way. I get it. Some people said this is the only credence I'll give to criticism. It's not fucking woke, first of all. Shove that up your ass. What it is I get that it's very, like, Marvel-y. I get that. I totally get that. But also, like, movies are going to be that way now. It's not going to be like the 1987 Predator. I mean, even look at Shane Black's 2018 Predator, which people, they kind of like that one, which, I mean, it is what it is. Basically, a predator is hunting humans, and then the super predator comes in and hunts that predator. It's like this souped up, and he's got like predator dogs and stuff. Yeah, and they keep getting like shot in the head and getting back up. I'm like, what the fuck? Sometimes action movies need a little bit more, like, less nonsense, a little bit more, like, to the point. Like, I'm like, okay.
What are you doing anymore, guys?
Yeah, thank you. So basically, you have to go find a trophy and come back with your trophy to be blooded. So Yautjas are born, they're little sucklings with their mother. They grew up about age 7. They're separated from their moms to be, like, trained. And then, like, we'll say somewhere in their 20s, they get sent to their first expedition, and hopefully you've had a mentor that's properly prepared you for this stuff. So all 3 predators we see in Alien vs. Predator are unblooded. They are sent down to hunt the ultimate prey, which is the xenomorph. Ridley Scott's evil, phallic-y alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the second mouth that gets me. I'm like,
yeah, I don't like it.
Yes. But then once you become blooded, you have status in the clan, and then you gain the right to mate with females. Now, here's the deal. If you think for one fucking second that the males are the fiercest of that species, you are wrong. The females literally rip, like, men limb from limb if they find them unsatisfactory mates. Oh, yeah. Go look it up. It's all canon.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Predator is, Yautja are a matriarch society. So, if you think Predator's woke...
Did you finish?
Yeah. Yes.
Holy shit.
So, that being said, and this is something that, like, really frustrates me, and people be like, oh, well, it's supposed to be an action movie, blah, blah, blah. It can still be all those things and still make good commentary. That's the sign of a great movie as opposed to a good one.
Sure.
Predator actually challenges traditional views on the patriarchy, believe it or not. And honestly, the movie is well ahead of its time. Which is also why I think it's so ridiculous to suggest that any new Predator film is woke, because I'm like, you didn't even watch the original one with a brain cell. So a Fangora is the one who did this. It's a online movie film they review. So their writer, Ben Williams, did an amazing breakdown of these themes. And it really stuck with me. Again, I got this as young as like 7 or 8. You know, I might not have gotten everything, but I got a lot of it, and I knew how certain scenes made me feel, and that has not changed years later. So,
cool.
Credit to the writing, in my opinion. So, the original Predator is widely considered one of the best examples of testosterone-driven 80s action cinema.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A classic of both the era and the genre. But, upon re-examination, in my opinion, Predator can be seen as a critique of masculine stereotypes in cinema. Because whether intentional or not, Predator does have a lot to say about gender politics, and in particular, the toxicity of masculine stereotypes, and the institutions they help to maintain, and the treatment of women within them. So while it might seem ludicrous to suggest that Predator is an intentionally woke film, maybe not. Honestly, it doesn't sound like that, but I never really got an interview with, like, the screenwriters. That was the director that we had. But I thought it was important to hear how the film came to be, because the director's in charge of all of it after a certain point. So there is a case to be made that Predator is a deliberate critique of the harmful masculine stereotypes and the cinematic conventions that have proliferated all these action films of that era and since. Henceforth, Because, I mean, they still exist, right? Fast and Furious is still a thing. Like, we're still on there. Like, I've never seen a Fast and the Furious movie, so.
You should just for fun.
I want to, and like literally anytime I bring it up, Blake's like, "You're on your own." I'm like, "What? Are they that bad?" He's like, "I am not." He's like, "I would rather sit." Bless him. I would rather sit and watch all of the Jurassic Worlds with you, world, not park, worlds with you again than watch those movies. I was like, "Damn, that's bad." He goes, "At least I get to see how joyful you are when a Therizinosaurus shows up on screen, or Giganotosaurus." Anyway, moving back on to Predator. Another thing I have strong opinions about. So the Predator can both critique these conventions while also being one of the best examples of the genre it's criticizing. It might still be surprising to consider some of them in this film in this light. Well, Predator doesn't appear to be an overtly political film. It was made in a rapidly changing political climate. The Iran-Contra affair was happening at the time. The CIA's funding of the Nicaraguan Contra rebels through the illegal selling of arms. Wow, it's almost like this movie's still super prevalent today.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's why I timed it like I did. So, hang in there. I'm glad we're all in this. She drinks more. The Iran-Contra affair, it's the headline news, and it undermined the American people's trust in their government. And remember, kids, if you think your government wouldn't, they most definitely would. So, considering this, the setting of Predator, with its KGB-funded mountain rebels, takes on, right? Predator's about to be a lot better of a movie to you once I'm done. But anyway, takes on a new political dimension, right? Some of the roles are reversed. The CIA are notably not the good guys in this film, as they might have been just a few years previously. The growing sense of public mistrust undoubtedly influenced the less than favorable portrayal of them in this film. So if the setting and real-world political climate aren't enough to convince you of Predator's political leanings, a closer look at the characters in the narrative might. Here we go. I have to actually ready myself to get into this. CIA man Dylan, the main human antagonist, the one responsible for dropping them into this meat grinder, as it's said, underscores the hierarchical dynamics of the film. Dylan is no longer military, but his authority exceeds everybody, to the point that he is, like, fully in command, right? He's the one in charge. In this regard, Dylan represents the top tier of this world, a world which oddly appears to have as many women as it does hyper-advanced xenomorphic killers. And within it, Dylan is the embodiment of the government that will send you to your death to achieve its own ends. Predator tells us quite clearly that the government and its institutions are not to be trusted.
Doesn't it now?
Man, your girl did not come to play today. Timothée Chalamet is not going to be the only, I'm going to get you. Dutch is Arnold Schwarzenegger, for those of you who don't know. Despite his physical prowess, represents the everyman. He is seldom referred to as Dutch by his men. Instead, he's addressed as Major, his military rank. But despite this, he comes across as almost a blue-collar worker, a straightforward guy doing the ugly jobs no one else wants to do.
He's just a guy, just like you.
Exactly. He predominantly calls all of his men by their first name or their nicknames, which humanizes them and shows us that he trusts them. Dutch might have his suspicions throughout the first act, and he's more on a mission than both Dylan and General Phillips are telling him. Like, he senses that something's not right? He's like, there's more here than what they're telling me, but I'm here to do a job, and I'm gonna do the job. And if I don't know it, there's probably a reason I don't know it, right?
Okay, yep, I'm on a need-to-know basis sort of thing.
Yeah, sure. That's what he thinks. But he is suspicious, and he is right to be so. And I'm glad that he didn't trust them blindly. So he suspects that there's more than what they are telling him, but he retains the belief and trust that they are, and by extension the institutions they represent, won't screw him over, just as he would never betray any of his men. Dutch, then, isn't simply a powerhouse super soldier, he's the average American working man who is brought to us in the mythos of the American dream.
Dutch.
Yep. So while Dutch may represent the average Joe, who occasionally unleashes his righteous violence on his enemies, he does adhere to a code of conduct. Part of this code is to only undertake search and rescue operations, a moral decision Dutch has made that his team abides by and vicariously upholds. It's the morality that allows them to be somewhat extrajudicial when dispensing violence, right? All the fancy word means is it's what they're doing is for the greater good, so it's okay, right?
Yep, there
That's
it is.
what we're
Yeah.
saying here. Yep. I'll put it in fucking English for you. I got you. The moral justification for violence is a large part of what makes toxic masculinity so toxic, as it extends an ethical pass when it comes to shooting. Hang in there. These are the words used in the movie. When it comes to shooting, quote, faceless brown half-assed mountain boys with a mini handgun, end quote. That's how this is. Yeah, that's how it's treated in the movie. Do you remember that or no?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
And I know
But,
it's the 80s, but still, even as far as the 80s, I'm like, wow, I'm surprised we're still using language like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Some things
Unfortunately, I mean, I hate
yes.
that I'm saying I have to agree that heartily with it, but yeah, that was
Right.
yeah.
So, but what they're saying is that this is okay because it's being done for the right reasons, right? Right.
Sounds about right. I mean, right.
Huh. Wow, you're keeping up. So Dutch's team may bear the semblance of the moral high ground. Predator allows for this slaughter because it's told us that these are the good guys and they think they're rescuing hostages. But there are a lot of people of color in this film serving as homogeneous cannon fodder to achieve the team's aims. Super important we talk about that. There's a lot about Predator that, like, is going to be different when you watch it the second time. But I think for the better. I think you're going to have more of an appreciation of what's going on. And what it's talking about, in my opinion. I saw this, and then I saw the way the people that made the film talk about it, and I'm like, maybe I read too far into Predator. But also, I'm somebody who was going to go to film school, super into it. Very rarely does anything ever happen by accident on film. And sometimes I think the people who make the films don't talk about it on purpose because they either want you to derive your own meaning from it, or they want you to get there on their own. They don't want to just have to be like blatantly like, well, this is what I was doing. Like, and as we now know, I'm not saying anything that, controversial here, but as we all know, Hollywood and our world as we know it now, with the release of certain files, is not what we once thought it was. And I think there's a lot of things that cannot overtly be said out loud. We have to find them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Especially with like, who is the big film director that they fashioned the orc after in Lord of the Rings, which was beautiful.
Harvey Weinstein.
Yes, that
great,
fucker.
Great.
Stuff like that. So they can't come out and say, oh yeah, we totally did that on purpose in this film. No, this film's like America and guns and like Predator and shit.
I've had it explained to me that like every department on a set, whether it be like costumes, set, whatever, is telling a story, and they're helping to continue the story along.
That is correct. That is totally correct.
I thought
I'm
that
glad
was a really great way to like think about movies that way. So when you see like
that is
outfits and costumes,
it's purposeful.
And stuff,
it's all on purpose. When it's revealed that the rebels are communists planning something big, Dutch gets to have his moment of indignation about having been lied to. But the horrific body count we just witnessed is still considered morally justified. Probably gonna go put Predator on after this, dude. I'm just feeling,
dude,
Yautja.
yeah.
Anyway, so hang in there. We got to get through this together. So part of the deal we make as the audience when revealing the team's toxic gung-ho masculinity is when our heroes backslap and wisecrack their way through this carnage, it's acceptable, right? We're permitting the slaughter as long as it's moral and the ideological excuses for it are upheld, right? For the greater good. Similarly, the Yautja in Predator, just Jungle Hunter, sadly. That's his only name, everybody.
Oh,
I know.
plus.
He kind of was, do you really feel bad for him?
I mean, he's like your OG that you see, so.
I guess. I'll get to my favorite. I have to stay focused. I can do this because I just want to like Predator nerd out on you so hard, and it's like, calm down. So similarly, the Yautja Predator has his own moral code and kills with his own kind of justification. So you're actually seeing a mirror of it, which I think is super interesting with the making of this movie. So to Predator, an armed or aggressive human is fair game, while an unarmed and passive target is out of bounds. The Yautja's code is scoffed at by Dutch, but he fails to see the irony that his own code is allowing him to justify the killing of rebels, innocent by the way. This makes our protagonist no different than his enemy. It's a mirror effect here. Love this. So his justification for killing is just a different interpretation of what is honorable. The view that holding a different ideology from one's own moral grounds is enough of an excuse for killing is a dangerous message. As long as it's okay. And yeah.
As long as you can justify it for morality.
Yes. This is why you should never believe what you're told, right? This is why we should honestly and actually, and the point of a lot of these films is to question everything. It's healthy and it's good. Questioning doesn't make you unpatriotic. Saying that you questioning makes you unpatriotic is unpatriotic. Let's just get one thing straight and two things gay right now. That is true. So, however, this isn't the message that Predator is putting out there. Instead, it seeks to subvert this notion by making the traditional heroes as vulnerable as the mountain rebels they so easily decimated. Or Anna, their bound female hostage. Dutch's team is full of bravado, yet they're the unwitting instruments of the CIA. They're full of arrogance, but they're unaware that they've already been written off as expendable. It's good. You're digging this, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're super into this? Okay, cool. I was like, is this hitting home? I hope so. I hope everyone else agrees. The Yautja is an extension of that metaphor. It treats Dutch's team and the notions of male superiority, right, with the same lack of regard men have traditionally afforded to women and minorities. It has no interest in their lives, relationships, needs, or struggles. It simply wants to hunt them and feels entirely justified to do so.
Okay.
I'm just watching your face this whole time, and you're like super into it. So because of the physical and technological inequality between the predator and the prey, the Yautja isn't fighting fair. It's technically cheating. However, this isn't accidental. Any struggle against a discriminatory or oppressive system is never fair, and that's what the Yautja represents in Predator. Even the fact that the Yautja is, for the most part, invisible can be viewed as a metaphor for fighting institutions so vast, and the term they used was nebulous, good term, but just so vast that we can't even intake it, as to be virtually impossible to attack directly. Wow, that feels a lot like how we all feel about some files in our government. But seriously, what I mean by that is it shouldn't be a big deal to say things need to be investigated and everything needs to be out in the open. That's not a controversial opinion. It's not. All it is I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's it. That's all any of us are asking for. And I love that metaphor of the movie when they look at it from that lens. So even bringing the full weight of their firepower to bear against this beast, the team barely scratch it. Doesn't make a difference. Predator's not afraid. Well, it may represent a contradiction to have both the protagonist and the antagonist represent the same ideology. The men of Dutch's team and the Predator critique different aspects of gender politics. Dutch's team represents the kind of blue-collar brand toxic masculinity, but the Predator itself is the patriarchy, which shows us just how unforgiving and indiscriminately oppressive the systems built by it are. Dutch and his team are just as much victims of these systems as those they help to oppress.
Patriarchy hurts everyone.
Yes, because it turns right back on them, throws them out, right? Dutch's team, while ethnically diverse, is mostly in fairly crude racial cultural stereotypes, as well as varied representations of hypermasculinity. Even Hawkins represents the masculine stereotype of the nerd who longs to be accepted by the bigger, stronger men. While his place in the group is otherwise overtly, in the group, all the overtly alpha males, it seems odd, right? He kind of seems out of place. His presence reminds us that toxic masculinity, hang in there, affects all men, as shown by his use of deliberately sexist humor in an attempt to win the approval of the others. But even when he's accepted into the team, he's still never fully treated as an equal. He's the beta, right? To use terminology of the pack. The incel inside. And when Dutch sets him after the fleeing Anna, it's with a whistle one might reserve for a trained dog. Rather than physically force her, Hawkins pleads with Anna to return before being rendered unrecognizable by the Yautja's attack. There's the implication this was the act of weakness, and he's paid the price for it. That's the thing, is Predator's punishment, because you have to remember, like, if you're looking at him on the lens of Predator is the patriarchy, unyielding and usually pretty cruel. So the rest of the team are all representative of aspects of toxic masculinity. Blaine and his compensatory old painless minigun, chewing tobacco, spitting homophobic slurs. Poncho's cool, calm, nice guy, also makes homophobic jokes and threatens Anna. Mac, his true affection towards Blaine, so repressed that his grief and rage not only endangers the team, it gets him rather spectacularly killed. Billy's tracking skills and vaguely Native American superstitions make him the epitome of the ethnic magician trope, so utterly consumed by his need to prove himself in combat and to have a warrior's death, he literally throws his life away.
Yes,
I have to look at that again. It's been a while since I've seen the first Predator, but I'll have to give it another shot. Like, in whenever this recording is done. Anna, the only woman in the film, is introduced to us by being hit in the face with a rifle. She spends almost the entirety of her screen time tied up and shoved around. Her one substantial piece of dialogue does very little to enhance her character or further the plot. Instead, her role reveals only the character of the rest of the team members, but none of her own. Only when Dutch cuts her bonds is there any concession to her humanity, right? Not even going to acknowledge her. She's just, quite frankly, more of a burden than anything else, right? Dutch treats Anna as an equal because he suspects the Predator cannot make the distinction between them, and so neither should he. It's an important moment in the film because it recognizes their situation. Despite being a woman and having a different ideology, Anna is no different from any of them. In the last act of the film, Dutch is alone. The team have all been decimated by Predator, either through their own arrogance, pride, or stupidity. Mac's thirst for revenge for his fallen comrade, Dylan's attempt to settle a score, and Billy's need for honor are all motives fueled by the toxic notions of masculinity. The final confrontation between Dutch and the Yautja sees it attempting to even the fight by disarming itself. Schwarzenegger was undoubtedly one of the most physically impressive people on the planet at the time, but even without weapons, camouflage, and optical enhancements, it's clear that this is not a fair fight. Predator is not outsmarted, nor is he physically bested, but rather, Dutch can only incapacitate it through blind luck. I'd like to think there's a little bit of strategy there, but I mean, taking away, or is that in Prey? Sometimes they all start to blur together. Didn't he cover himself in mud to hide from the heat tracking?
That's what I remember. He covers himself in mud because of the heat track. Yeah, he can't
Okay, they use that in Prey too, which is amazing if you haven't seen it.
I've heard it's so good. I've not seen it, but I've heard it's amazing.
It's fantastic. Okay. And that's where all the woke propaganda began, was with that film. So hang in there. We're getting there next. Even as the Yautja lays dying, it is intent on killing. Listen to this. What does the Yautja represent here?
Patriarchy.
The patriarchy. Even as it lays dying, it is intent on killing, even though it no longer serves any purpose. Just like the patriarchy and toxic masculinity it engenders, the Predator itself is a metaphor for the brutality of these systems. It is not only hard to take down, it would rather scorch the earth than concede. Understand that. And the reason I bring this up and am making a real big fucking point is because we are watching this in the real fucking time right now. And it is super important to me that you understand that. If you disagree with me, I encourage you to sit with that discomfort and ask, wow, why does that upset me? You need to think about it, because you're going to come up with some tough answers, and the faster you do that, the better for all of us. So, That being said, Predator is a super important film, and even I, as like an 8-year-old child who probably shouldn't have watched Predator, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. I was watching dinosaurs like murder people at 6. Who really cares at this point? Like it's so relevant, it's not even funny. Anyway, so by showing these masculine stereotypes and action tropes and how they ultimately fail the team in Predator, we see how patriarchal systems and structures can not only be toxic and detrimental, but they're also, by their own very nature, vulnerable and ultimately designed to endanger those that participate in them. Conversely, Prey shows us that if we fight against these harmful notions of what constitutes masculinity, we can overcome them. Remember that there's something waiting in those trees, and it ain't no man. That brings us to the current Predator, Prey, and Badlands, and how they fit into the lore. So I told you, so predator culture revolves around the stalking and hunting of dangerous life forms. After making a kill, the predators typically skin and hang the corpse inverted, or decapitate the carcass and take the skull as a trophy. Trophies are how they earn respect in their culture. If immobilized or near death, a predator may activate a self-destruct mechanism in its wristband to erase evidence of its presence. Predators generally attack... Yeah. So predators generally only attack life forms capable of providing a challenge, indicating the hunting serves as a form of sportsmanship or a rite of passage. And as I said before, the predator is a matriarchal society. So the women are head of the pet. So the males compete for the right and honor to breed with females, right? But even that doesn't get you there. That just gets your foot in the door. You gotta, yeah, right? I highly recommend.
Like
There's
Goro.
this, yeah, kind of. Man, it so good. The new movies are so good. Prey is fantastic. I can't even tell you. So that predator's name is Feral in Prey. My personal favorite, I love Dak from Badlands, Predator Badlands. I adore that movie. It's so good, and people think that apparently it's like it's Laurel, since you don't know, it's an underdog story. My favorite Predator he's super popular. It's everybody's favorite, but it's Wolf. You only see him once in the films, but if you read the books and the comics, he's in there a lot. Wolf is, what's the word for him? He's the guy they call when shit has hit the fan and they're like, hey. So in Alien vs. Predator Requiem, the second one, Wolf is who's called in to take down the Predalien, that like alien predator hybrid. Are you looking at him? Yeah. Wolf is like, Wolf has gone on so many hunts. He's an old fucker at this point, but he's the guy. So he's allowed to like decimate societies. And what I mean by that is to make it look like Predator was never there, right? Aliens can't get out of control. He's got to do the cleanup. There's a word for them. And it's not coming to me right now, like cleaners or something like that. But you have to be a really like battle-hardened predator to earn that job description. There's elders, and then there's like even above elders. So there's all kinds of Yautja lore. I highly recommend everybody checks it out. All that to be said, this is my personal takeaway from the Predator movies. You certainly don't have to take that away from them. I always did. I think there's a lot more to them than people give them credit for. I get frustrated when I feel like people watched the movies and missed the point. Very rarely are things ever an accident on film. Pretty much almost never. Predator, it certainly isn't Shakespeare, right? But it deserves more credit for its subtlety. It doesn't get lost in all the firepower. It's still there. It's still a great film. Exactly like the director said. He's like, it's a great film. People still love it now. It's still one of the best Predator movies. My favorite are probably Prey and Badlands, but we have more technology now, right? We can do more with it. But you better believe the first Predator is right up there with them. It's a classic. It is super 80s though. Last time I watched it, I remember being like, yeah, this is definitely a product of its time. Fun fact, Predator and Blake are the same age, so They're both born in 87.
Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about like the actual I was like, okay, like you know how old the predator, like the
You don't?
Yautja
No, I'm just kidding.
guy
No,
is?
I don't know
Like,
how old he is. That's ridiculous. I'm not that into it, although I'm sure someone does.
I'm surprised you didn't know.
Sorry, I'll do better. Failure. So you don't have to pay attention to the nuances to enjoy it as a straight action film. It's a great action film. It gets even better if you dig a little deeper, and that's the hallmark of a great film. That's what takes a good film and makes it great. And I guess I'll just leave it that. What was your takeaway from Predator? What did you think about it? Maybe you thought everything I said was bullshit. In which case, catch me outside. But
Katie is scrappy dude, but also what did you take away?
Yeah, what was your takeaway from it? Any of the new Predators? I think there's a lot. Remember that art and film specifically is supposed to be a lot of commentary on what's going on in our worlds now, and I think there's a lot you can take away from that. Thanks for coming, everybody. That's a history of the Predator movie, and I wanted to get a little bit more into why, and I just think that sometimes it's just the super important. The why is just as important as the what.
Yeah. Who, what, where, when, and why. No, that's cool. It does help me look at the movie in a different way because yes, it is like a hyper masculine 80s action movie. It's
very much
so much. It's the tropiest man tropes and like just close-ups on biceps. Dylan.
All of the but rippling biceps, but also they're always wet.
They're wet, yeah.
Why
always,
is everything wet? All the time.
Always wet.
Yeah.
It's
I can smell the BO through the screen. Just saying. I just smell it and I'm like, oh my God, it smells like a locker room. Please.
But yeah, so it really does stand alone as its own action movie, and you can just watch it at a surface level and go, yes, this is such a bro movie. Yeah. But I think looking at it in a deeper way is a very interesting way to rewatch the movie again, which I shall do at some point.
Yes, please do. I'm interested in what you think. And I also think that the reason I did that is because I got so frustrated with how people are harping on the new movies. I was like, well, these are really great movies, and if you're missing all those things, you didn't get the idea of the first Predator. At least what I thought. Again, this is just, I found things to support. When I think some people think it's just a straight action movie. Sure, maybe. I would be surprised if a straight action movie withstood the test of time like this one did.
Because the tropes are their own commentary, and the masculinity is its own commentary.
Yeah, gun pornography. I mean, it's all there. So, and look, you just finished your wine just in time. I timed this out well.
Look at that. Boom. Hit that last bit there. Well, that was an interesting trek into the jungles of Mexico. And
thank you.
The interactions with the life form that is Predator. A little different spin tonight. So that was good. Thank you so much. I'm so high.
I'll take you on to the jungle with me anytime.
Welcome to the jungle. Goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That's too good, dude.
Or something. I'm probably getting it wrong, but it's something like that.
No, I think that's got to be close.
All tucked in his cheek there, and he's just Jesse Ventura. Oh my gosh, just a big dude. Yeah, everyone's a big dude in it.
Fine, I'm gonna find it. We need to know for our own purposes.
Yeah.
Look at that mustache. He's putting chewing tobacco in.
Yeah.
They're taping and gearing up, painting their faces. He's throwing something at Hawkins, who catches it and smiles manly. They're so gay. This is so gay.
It's very homoerotic, which a lot of 80s action movies were.
Painting. There's Billy.
Yeah, Billy's got he's stoically painting his face on the. Here it is.
Stuff will make you a goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus.
Goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus.
God damn it. You know what's really funny is I should not have watched this as a 7-year-old. I would not have gotten any of this.
Oh, God.
I can tell you right now, I didn't even remember that. That shows you how closely I paid attention. I was just there for the murder of men. There's my origin story. This shit'll turn you into a goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus. What?
But
Does
not
that
before
even...
all the slurs, and you're like, oh, fuck it, this fucking guy.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. You're going, this fucking guy, about nearly all of them.
Yeah.
You're right. I suppose Dutch is the one, and Billy is like the one.
Yeah.
I don't remember Billy being an asshole. He's
Not
just quiet the whole time. He's supposed to be like this stoic
not necessarily
warrior,
an asshole, but trying to please those around him when he should have never, I guess the lesson there is you don't even need to bring yourself down to the level of those who aren't worth impressing.
Yeah.
Their opinions don't fucking matter. So.
Get it, Billy. Yeah. You tell them, Billy, as you stoically paint your face.
Right? I was very majestic. I was there. He was painting indigenously.
Painting indigenously, yeah. The little asterisks painting indigenously.
Dude, yeah. I'm pretty sure I heard an eagle fly by.
Yeah.
Dude. Absolutely. He did. He did it, but indigenously.
Indigenously. For sure.
Stares indigenously.
Good times. Thank you. Thank you, Katie. That's
yeah. Thanks for slogging through the jungle with me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for taking us through the leaves. Some of them might be glued
on.
And the testosterone. You're just
I guided you all.
Out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of the way here. Wave it around a little bit.
Smells like a locker room.
It's
awful.
Why is everybody wet?
why is everything wet? It's like a public restroom in here. Disgusting.
God.
I can't handle this.
Yeah.
This is not my thing.
At this point, I'm just hoping the predator gets me.
Right? I'm like, please kill me now before this gets any worse.
And this is why we are not special forces. So anyway.
Are you kidding me, dude? Predator would have packed me up on a backpack and I brought compressed evil with me. You're welcome. This is a weapon. Yeah, I am.
Like Luke Skywalker.
And Yoda,
and
dude.
Yoda.
Just call me Yoda.
Just like a little backpack on him. He does a flip and you just go with him.
Right? Be like, I'm ready. We're running through the jungle. You ever notice Predator's toes are always out?
Oh no. Once I look for it though, I'm gonna.
You're never gonna unsee it. I mean, the earlier Predators, it's more of a foot costume that you're put, but as time goes on, it's just more toes. I don't know. Check them out, dude. They got some fugly ass. They got some fugly ass feet, dude. Those feet are built for ass kicking, Laurel. What do you got against Predator feet? They got those Yautja mandals. No. Yautja Jesus cleats, dude. None of you are gonna ever be ready to take Predator seriously again. I went here and made this all such a deep internal thing, and then I'm like, but you ever looked at their feet, dude? And it's shot myself in the foot with that one. They have Yautja mandals. They're all in sandals. I shit you not. Every time I see them, when Predator's walking around, he's all big and tough. He's I'm fucking Predator. Or Feral and Prey. I remember I was like, dude, look at those toes. And Blake's like, why would you pick that out of this scene? I'm like, why would you not? Clearly, things look like fucking Steven Tyler's toes. Don't Google that unless you have not eaten a meal in the last hour. That man's toes are on another level. I had people do it on a Discord call.
Oh my gosh, Katie, that's amazing. Now I'm going to look at Predator's feet and then I'm never going to be able to unsee it. And they're
not super ugly. They're predatory as the rest of him. But I'm always why don't they have shoes?
Like Hobbit feet in terms of that's their shoe.
The Predator version, yeah.
Their shoes are their feet.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is they have one strap over their foot and a bottom, and then it's just toes. I'm telling you, dude. Everybody's going to be Googling Predator feet, and Google's going to be like, what happened here? I'll be like, listen. Predator feet, dude. I've looked them up. Do you want it? It's sometimes they have a plate over the feet.
Nice.
Predator toes, Laurel.
Oh, okay. I simultaneously expected that and didn't expect it. I'm not sure what I thought I was going to see, but yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. You're well, yeah, because they would do running and stuff with them, but also they don't have shoes on. I'm did they just have the toughest feet known to Predator kind? I almost said mankind, but that wouldn't make sense. Yautja kind?
It gives Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 90s.
Yeah, very much so.
little bit that. Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But like anytime I see them walking around, I'm like, why does that motherfucker got no shoes on? You mean to tell me?
Not about having shoes. A species from like another part of space and
Yeah,
whatever.
but they're like the ultimate hunters of the universe, and they wouldn't even throw on sandals? Like, I don't believe that. It's cold in space. How do their toes not get cold?
Well, it's however a Yautja's biology is, I guess, right?
Well, let me tell you, they come from
Okay.
arid climates. I was like, why do you know that?
I like how you were like, of course I don't know how old he is. Like, I don't know that much about Yautjas,
like,
but
why
like
not?
you know everything else. Like the age feels like something that's inconsequential.
I feel like
this
that's a question you should answer, Katie.
Yeah.
Fair.
Of all things.
I'll try to do better.
Okay. She's like, of course I don't know how old he is. God, what do you think I
What
am,
kind
a
of a
nerd?
question is
And then
that?
she's like, Yautjas, they all have names and they come from a specific planet. And also, have you seen their feet? Like,
also, have you seen their feet? I'll just pack it away. I'm just going to calm down. I'm going to let you close out the episode.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for taking us through those jungles there. The jungles of allegory and metaphor and symbolism and testosterone and hypermasculinity and homoeroticism. And thank you for bringing it to the smoke circle. What a great
Yes.
idea that was.
Thank you. I
My
know
eyes.
it was like, again, it wasn't like traditional history, but sometimes I think that, man,
Just a fun little foray.
Art and film matters. And this does affect and matter to history because it's a commentary on history.
True. Sure.
So there you go.
Okay.
I was like, all right, I'm buying
There
it.
you go. Now you can do it. Well, that's the thing. People are like, oh, don't get political or whatever. And you're like, well, history and politics are so enmeshed that you cannot tear them apart without,
You can't like walk around it, or I would just not be telling half of it. I'd be like, well, there's a reason for that, but I can't go into it, and then keep moving on. It's like, okay.
Well, yeah, and especially if you're looking through a lens of history. I mean, you can't pull those things apart and be able to be an
Not
accurate
really.
an accurate communicator of history.
Correct.
You know? Yeah.
So if things make you uncomfortable, that's why I encourage people. And I get it. I do get it. I get why they don't like it because it's uncomfortable. But like, man, ever just sit with something, be like, why am I uncomfortable with that? And like, think about it. I find a lot of deep answers to life, not roasted. Sometimes roasted, sometimes not. Just in general, it's a great question to ask yourself. Or maybe you'll learn a little bit more about yourself in the process, because there's plenty of times where like, why am I uncomfortable with that? And I still come out with the answer of, I'm still uncomfortable with that, and damn it, I'm allowed to be. Sometimes it's okay.
Thank you for bringing episode 116 to us tonight. It was a lot of fun. And we'll be back again in a couple weeks for 117. Just one right after the other, hit after hit. Here we go.
Body count. Oh, sorry.
And in the
Enough
meantime,
Predator.
Yeah. Get money, get high, give love, and
get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
I couldn't resist. It had to happen. I was like, I am not.
Bye.